My name is Marshall Brown. I'm the local historian here at the famous Ben Silly Bowl. Basically what I do here is to tell a little story, a little history about Ben Silly Bowl and about the history of U Street, which is my history and your history. Now Ben Silly Bowl is the integrationist to this heart. And when you come in here, everybody's integrated. White and black, young and old, upper class, middle class, lower class, no class. You know, you might be sitting here, and there's a judge, and right next to him is the same junkie that he locked up. You know, you might find a homeless guy sitting in the corner, and right next to him, ordering a chili dog, could very well be a billionaire. Here's a business that came up from nowhere. Mr. Ali came here in the late 40s. He wanted three things. He wanted a business, he wanted a family, and he wanted to help somebody. Ultimately, he would find this place here, and he would turn it into a hot dog stand and selling a little bit of breakfast. He'd go down the street, deposit his money in the first African-American bank, Industrial National Bank, and like a Cinderella story, Mrs. Ali was the teller. They would fall in love, get married, and they would come back here. One thing they decided when they got back here, they had to do three things. They had to work harder, they had to be smarter, and they had to give a lot back. And God knows they did all three. From 1958 to 1968, made a little bit of money. 1968, Martin Luther King would be assassinated. When he was assassinated, this entire city would be on flames. A lot of racial tension going on that time, white and the black, and it was horrible. 34 people would be killed, 434 stores would be burnt down, and the president closed down everything in the city except for here at Ben Silly Bowl. So if you can imagine going outside that door to the right and left, there were literally thousands of people in the line, young and the old, rich and the black, white and the poor, everybody stuck in the same line waiting to get into it. From 1968 to 1978, things would change. It would get even worse. Washington would experience its worst drug epidemic you could ever imagine. Outside of these doors, there was nothing but drugs being sold. I'm not talking about 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months. I'm talking about for 10 years. You know, but people like yourself, they just kept on coming. 1978 to 1988, it would even get worse. They would build a subway. In order to build a subway, they had to take out the street, take out the sidewalk, no street. 1988 to now, it even got worse or better, depending on who you are. In the back, it used to cost $50,000 for a townhouse. It now costs $750,000. It went from 99.9% African American to 62% white. I think they call that gentrification. It was great to have an African American president, but things have not changed. In fact, the white community got an opportunity to release the guilt they had by saying that they voted for an African American to be president. In fact, some white folks will tell me today they can't be presidents. I asked them why. They say, I voted for Obama. My. Let me tell you something. There have been 43 presidents, I believe. 42 of them have been white, and white people are still poor. So that should tell you what the presidency might mean to anybody. It's pretty obvious. Let's take Washington, D.C., you know. There used to be a kiddie park. It's a doggy park now, you know. They never put a dime into the kiddie park where kids could go and play. As soon as another crew came here with their little dogs, that's where everybody dumped $100,000 in the same park. You got bike lanes. You probably got less than 3% of the people who ride bikes. Yet they came in with bike lanes, you know, part of that Starbucks crew, you know. It helped to change Adams Morgan, Mount Pleasant, U Street. I talked about it. We went from 99.9% African American here to 62% white. So that should tell you something anyway. It's very important to know who you are, where you came from, so you know where you're going. Most African Americans have no idea who they are, where they came from, so they don't know where they're going. Me, I grew up in an era where we had to change all of that. That's why I learned so much about Africa and the world and internationally and how all of this relates and connects. My sons and my daughter, who I love very much, they're a little different than I am. But these are different times.